Hello everyone and welcome back. My first video of 2025. So if you're watching this in January, Happy New Year. Also, today happens to be my birthday, 58 years old. Or should I say 58 years young. In any event, I really wanted to share, I think this is a good way to start the year. This is the craziest case we've had yet with the Baker Act. And let me give you the synopsis because I have told you before, how important it is not to delay taking action, how secretive under the guise of confidentiality the whole Baker Act thing is. This case that we handled really took the icing on the cake. It was just unbelievable. It actually took us 27 days to get this young man out. It's the longest it's ever taken us. Now, I guess in the grand scheme of things, better 27 days than 6 months in a state hospital. But this was a shocking case and very frustrating for us, very frustrating for the family, and very frustrating for the client who was stuck in this facility. So this had to do with the VA, the Veterans Affairs Hospital. And just so we're clear, even though the VA is a federal hospital facility, when it comes to the Baker Act, they fall under the jurisdiction of the state courts because they are using a state statute to detain people. Chapter 394, which is the Baker Act, is a state statute, even though the VA is clearly a federal facility. So we had a call from this young man, a veteran, early 30s. He went to the VA for really just a medical issue. And, like many of the hospitals that we've dealt with and received facilities, the minute, of course, he had health insurance and he had wonderful veterans insurance, they were detaining him under the Baker Act. One of the parents called us, I think we're about 5 days in now, and said, "Can you get him out?" And we said, "Yeah, we can, but we need to file an emergency petition and we should do it quickly." And so we did. We filed one of our emergency habeas petitions. A judge here in the county issued what's known as a show cause order. And I've talked to you about that before, but basically said to the VA, "Get your butts in my courtroom and explain why you have this guy." The VA stonewalled us. They would not allow us to even serve them. They basically said, "We're a federal agency. Get the hell out of here." In fact, they told my process server, who, by the way, is a retired federal agent, "If you don't leave, we're going to have you arrested. Our federal agents who secure this building will detain you and arrest you." So he left. And we told the judge what happened, and the judge issued 2 more orders telling the VA to get themselves and appear in front of the judge. And both times the VA stonewalled us, would not allow us to serve them. Now, they did know about it because we had faxed them the petition and the court orders that were issued by the judge. And so while they sort of played dumb, they knew what was going on because they were receiving this thing, and we had the fax confirmations to prove it. And then, like 2 weeks in, we found out, because we got an email from a lawyer from the federal agency that works with the VA, and said, "Oh, by the way, we have a court order. We have a placement order giving us the authority to detain this guy for up to 6 months." And we said, "When did that happen?" Well, it turns out it happened during the period of time when we weren't yet retained on the case. And not only did they not tell the family, they didn't tell the second judge, the one who was listening to the habeas petition. They didn't go back to the first judge in Palm Beach County who gave them the order. They didn't even tell our client, the young man who'd been detained, that there'd been a hearing, because he was so drugged up and rendered so catatonic that he couldn't even go to the hearing and had no idea that the VA had obtained a court order to detain him. And long story short is, it took us 27 days to get him out, of fighting and filing different motions. We went back to the first judge and said, "Oh, by the way, Your Honor, did you know that there's another case pending?" And we also said to the second judge, "Hey, Your Honor, did you know that a judge who basically sits 3 doors down from you has entered an order in this case?" You see, the first judge didn't know about the second judge. The second judge didn't know about the first judge because the VA didn't tell anybody. They kept it a secret. They didn't even tell his parents, this young man, this veteran's parents, what they had done. What the family did know is that their loved one was rendered so catatonic that he could barely even speak. And this is what happened. And now, look, he's out. And, and as I told this young man, I said, look, we don't leave anybody behind. We keep fighting until the client is out. But here's what happened. And of course, he didn't remember anything. I mean, we had spoken to him on the phone several times. He didn't even remember speaking to us. I emailed him all of the pleadings, all the court orders, all the motions, all the habeas petition, all the returns of service. And it was like 16 or 17 different documents. I don't think he could even believe what he was seeing. He had no idea what had been going on because the VA kept him under lock and key and drugged up. And so this is really why I say to you, don't wait. When your loved one gets Baker Acted, you got to fight right now to get him out. Now, obviously, we were dealing with a federal agency, and that complicated things because they think that they're above the law, even though they used that law, the Baker Act statute, to hold this guy, okay, and get an order from a judge here in the county to hold him much, much longer. So listen, if your loved one has been Baker Acted, whether it's to a county facility or the VA, you have a right to petition for their release. And I don't care if they're in a county facility or the VA. If they are holding your loved one under the Baker Act, the court can order them released. So what a way to start 25. The case came in actually the end of the year, and I was actually away with my wife and kids, and, I stayed in touch with the family because there's no way I was leaving this young man, this soldier, behind, to be honest with you. My father-in-law's a veteran, and we have a passion for helping veterans here in my office. But this was a crazy story, okay? Don't wait to get your loved ones out because this is the kind of thing that can happen. A court order that not even the two judges knew about. Never mind the family and the client. So with that said, Happy New Year, and I will see you much, much more in 2025. Take care. Bye-bye.